This video is for my garlic and bread lovers. Today I will be showing you how to make the easiest homemade garlic nuts. These are very simple and easy to make, and the results are so delicious. All of your guests will be asking for more. If you want to watch how I made garlic nuts for the first time, please keep on watching. Hello guys, my name is Susie, and not so long ago I started learning how to bake, and if I can figure it out, so can you. And with that, let's get to baking. The first part to this recipe is making your garlic butter. So we're going to start by mincing our garlic. Next, over low heat, we're going to cook the garlic and butter. So first we're going to go ahead and add the garlic, and we're going to add just 1 tablespoon of butter and a teaspoon of water. So just keep cooking until the garlic develops this beautiful brown color. Next, we're going to add the remaining butter. So just keep cooking over low heat until all of the butter melts. Next, we're going to strain the garlic solids to separate the beautiful, delicious garlic butter we just made from the remaining garlic solids. So the next step is to make the liquid for our dough. So we're going to combine water, the garlic solids, and 1 tablespoon of the garlic butter we just made. We're going to mix it up all together and set aside. Next, we're going to start working on our dry ingredients. So I always measure my flour using a scale, but you can go ahead and use a measuring cup. Measuring with a scale just gives you more accurate results. Next, I'm going to add the yeast and the salt. So my tip for today is when you're baking, don't combine the salt and the yeast until you're ready to bake, because salt actually kills yeast. That's why I place the salt away from the yeast so I can mix them only when I'm ready to start making my dough. As usual, I will be using my stand mixer to knead the dough. So I actually have an issue with my shoulder, which is why I always knead with a stand mixer. But this dough is very small, and you're definitely able to knead this by hand if you don't have a stand mixer. Regardless of what method you're using to knead, just go ahead and keep kneading until the dough is soft and elastic. On my stand mixer, it takes about 8 minutes, but if you're kneading by hand, it could take a little bit longer. After kneading, I'm going to prep the pan I'm going to rise my dough in. So I'm just going to go ahead and grease up a glass bowl. And next, I'm going to transfer the dough onto a lightly floured countertop, and I'm going to knead for about another 30 seconds. And next, I'm going to turn it over and form it into a nice taut ball. Then I'm going to transfer it into my prepped container, and I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap. Then we're going to let it proof for about an hour to an hour and a half, or until it's doubled in size. After the dough is done proofing, go ahead and prep your baking pan by lining with some parchment paper. Next, we're going to deflate the dough, and we're going to transfer it to a lightly floured countertop. You have a couple of options for cutting the dough. So you can either shape the dough to a 12 by 6 rectangle and cut 12 pieces of 6 by 1 inch rectangles. Or you can use a scale to get 12 even pieces. I like using a scale because I'm going to get 12 evenly sized pieces, which means they're going to bake evenly in the oven, but you can definitely still cut them without a scale. After cutting up the dough to 12 pieces, cover with plastic wrap to prevent from drying out. To shape the dough, roll it into a 14-inch rope. Next, shape the rope into a U and use the ends to tie a knot. The tails of the knot should be about 1.5 inches long. Next, wrap the tails in the opening of the knot. Make sure you pinch the ends together to form a seal. After shaping, place the dough nut side up on the prepared pan. Next, loosely cover with greased plastic wrap. Next, we're going to let it proof for about an hour to an hour and a half, or until they've doubled in size. Before baking, we're going to preheat our oven to 500 degrees F. After the dough is done proofing, we're going to place it in our oven that we preheated to 500 degrees F, and we're going to let it bake for 5 minutes. After baking for 5 minutes, we're going to take it out of the oven and we're going to brush it with the delicious garlic butter we made at the beginning. I hope this is getting your mouth watering as much as mine is. Next, we're going to rotate the pan and place it in the oven. You can see here I am making a mess and I'm throwing everything on the floor, but just go ahead and put your dough in the oven for another 5 minutes. And after that, we just have a couple more steps before you're ready to eat this delicious garlic nuts. First, we're going to rub more of the delicious garlic butter all over the nuts. Next, we're going to sprinkle some coarse kosher salt all over our delicious home-baked garlic nuts. So let this cool for 15 minutes, and you guys know the next step is just to eat and enjoy all of your hard work. So I hope you guys see how easy this was. This was so delicious and so easy to make, and I hope you guys try this out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do end up making this recipe, please leave me a comment to let me know how it turned out. I'd really appreciate that. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!